How did the Cold War affect economics and politics in the East and the West?
Surprisingly, the Cold War had similar economic and political effects on Eastern and Western countries.
In both Eastern and Western countries, there was massive spending on defense and research and the formation of international blocs. In Western countries, there was internal dissent due to the country's involvement in foreign wars. On the other hand, in Eastern countries, there were internal revolutions due to a desire for more freedom.
By 1986, global military expenditures reached $900 billion a year, or $1.7 million a minute. While many countries built up their militaries and increased funding for research in the Cold War, the amount the United States and the Soviet Union spent dwarfed the amount other countries spent. The United States and the Soviet Union have just 11% of the world's population, but they spent more than half the world's military budget and performed 80% of the world's military research. 1/3 of all U.S. research and development funds are spent for military purposes. 70% of the federal government's research and development funds go to the military. Military research and defense spending grew 164% between 1980 and 1987. There are enough nuclear weapons scattered around the globe to kill everyone on Earth at least 12 times. The United States and the Soviet Union possess 97% of the nuclear weapons. 69% of the 1.8 million soldiers stationed on foreign soil around the globe come from either the Soviet Union or the United States. One of the major areas of research was space. The technological superiority required for supremacy in space was seen as necessary for national security and symbolic of ideological superiority. In 1957, Russia successfully launched Sputnik, the first artificial Earth satellite, causing the United States to accelerate previous military space and missile projects and to create NASA, a civilian space agency. In 1969, the United States achieved the first manned moon landing. The United States aided Western European recovery through the Marshall Plan with the goal of preventing the spread of Soviet communism. The financial aid of the Marshall Plan was extended to Eastern European countries as well, but the Soviet foreign minister rejected it. He proposed the Molotov Plan, the USSR's version of the Marshall Plan. The Marshall Plan and the Molotov Plan created loose alliances, which solidified in the name of collective self-defense. In 1949, Western European countries formed NATO, and in 1955, Eastern European countries signed the Warsaw Pact. In the United States, as the Vietnam War dragged on, people began to protest U.S. intervention. The protests led to more people dodging the draft and American soldiers losing belief in the war. However, in general, the protests weren't very effective. In Eastern Europe, there were revolutions and protests in Czechoslovakia, Hungary, Poland, West Germany, and Romania. People in these countries wanted more liberalism and self-determinism. These revolutions contributed to the ultimate breakdown of the USSR.